She tells him, ooh, love, no one's ever gonna hurt you, love. I'm gonna give you all of my love. Nobody matters like you.
Alright, guys, so if you can tell by the screen, we are going over. Alright, hey guys, so it looks like today's episode is going to be walking around and looking at 15 fan theories that make too much sense in Dragon Ball Z. So, here's one. Number 15, half Saiyans are more powerful than regular Saiyans. Now, the reason that they have this is because half Saiyans are able to obtain Super Saiyan and use Super Saiyan forms easier. Now, I wouldn't say that they're more powerful than regular Saiyans. I would just say that they have an easier time not only just obtaining the Super Saiyan form, but advancing further on through the Super Saiyan forms. Because, for instance, Goku and Vegeta, because they are full-blood Saiyans, they do have that drive to get stronger. And half-blood Saiyans, because they have that human side, and they have a more nurturing and caring characteristics inside of them, it makes them easier for them to obtain Super Saiyan. So, are they more powerful than regular Saiyans? Not really. Is it just easier for them to gain all the S cells that they need to become Super Saiyan a lot quicker than regular Saiyans? Yes, because they don't have that drive to gain a whole bunch of power. It's the Super Saiyan form is only when you need it. And it's not, whenever you want it. Krillin is actually the strongest character in the series. So, I was actually going to talk about this, but it's not that he's the strongest. Even if we do take Goku and do make him a human, I mean, with the training that he did get, because he did obtain a lot more training before, like a lot of key control training before he met Krillin. So he would still be a bit more stronger. Plus, he also had training from Grandpa Gohan. I feel like they would be closer when it came to strength, but not really enough to say who's stronger in that scenario. And, I mean, they probably also getting rid of, like, the rest of the Saiyans, so, no Gohan, no Goten, no Trunks. No Piccolo, no Vegeta, even though Piccolo's a Namekian, but still, no to him. But he also wouldn't even be the strongest human. So if we only considered humans, Krillin would be stronger than Yamcha and Yajirobe, and maybe Master Roshi. More later on in the series, but I think that's just due to his old age. And we also saw the scouter say that Krillin had a higher power level. So, in the original Dragon Ball, Krillin would not be stronger than Master Roshi. In Dragon Ball Z, he is. But there's one human that we're all forgetting about, and that's Tien. So, Tien would be stronger than Krillin. We've already seen him stronger. He was able to actually do a lot of, surprisingly, a lot of damage to Semi-Perfect Cell. And the most that we've seen Krillin do is pretty much just hold off some of Frieza's soldiers. Now, does that mean that he's weak? No. I mean, him still being able to take on Frieza's men is a astounding accomplishment. Is an accomplishment of its own. All right. Well, we pretty much went over that one. Let's see here. Jiren is Buddha. I think they're only saying that because of the fact that he spent the entire time in the Tournament of Power just meditating. It says that. Oh, it says he blocked Goku's Kamehameha Blast with ease. That's just because of how strong he is, but that doesn't mean he's Buddha. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say this one is completely stupid. I have no way of explaining how this one could even be remotely make too much sense. Like, seriously, that one's just completely stupid. Jiren as Buddha? Alright, guys, here, I'm going to give you a good question now that you can post in the comments. Alright, explain to me how Jiren can be Buddha. And let's go on to the next one. Earth would have been conquered if it were not for Goku. Not really. I mean, if it wasn't for Goku, let's just go ahead and say Goku didn't exist. Or Goku went to a different planet. Well, this is pretty much what happened on Earth. Emperor Pilaf would have got the Dragon Balls, and he wouldn't had to have released Piccolo, like the Demon King Piccolo, and Majin Buu. That wouldn't have had to worry. Actually, no, the androids wouldn't have been a thing. So, yeah. So let's see here. The androids wouldn't have been a thing. Cell would not have been a thing. Even though the Red Ribbon Army would have been completely disbanded, it's just due to the fact that Pilaf would have wished for control of all the armies in the world. And he would have easily just disbanded the Red Ribbon Army. Remember, Commander Blue, all he wanted the Dragon Balls for was to get a little bit taller. What a waste of a wish. Piccolo wouldn't have been a thing. The androids would not have been a thing. Cell wouldn't have been a thing. Majin Buu would have had still been a thing because Bobbidi came to Earth to resurrect Majin Buu, but he wasn't expecting the Saiyans, so it would have took a lot longer for Majin Buu to be resurrected. And he probably would have went on a tyrant, just a rampage till Beerus woke up. That's if they were able to get him revived before Beerus, and then Beerus would have probably just destroyed Majin Buu. So would the Earth have been conquered? I wouldn't say that it would have, but I would say that, I mean, more than, I mean, the way you look at it, there would be, like, certain enemies wouldn't have existed. So, like, Frieza would have never came to Earth. The androids wouldn't be a thing. Cell wouldn't be a thing. Raditz wouldn't came to Earth. Vegeta and Nappa wouldn't have come to Earth. Majin Buu was already on Earth, so Bobbidi would have came to Earth to revive Majin Buu. It would have been easier for Supreme Kai Shin to have stopped Bobbidi, but that's pretty much it. Alright, now let's go on to the next one. Because this one is, like, really hard to say whether or not. Because Buu would still be a thing, but that'd be the only enemy. I mean, Emperor Pilaf would have took over the Earth, but, I mean, once he had control of all the military, I mean, nothing would have really changed. I mean, I didn't really see anything that he would have done that would change anything. Like, that's all he wanted was control of the entire Earth's military and be the Emperor. So, I mean, he would just be making laws and stuff, but that's pretty much it. How Goten was born. This is just okay. I think this was a joke during the entire thing. Because I mean, okay, so let's go ahead and read it. So, stated that Goten was born 9 months after the Cell Games. Okay, so that means that she was pregnant during the Cell Games, which puts the timeline on a very specific route. However, fans tried to figure out when Goku and Chi-Chi were actually alone. That would be simple. After they came out of the hyperbolic time chamber, they had a week before the Cell Games, which gave them, I think it was 9 days, actually. I don't remember. Let me actually Google it. Come on. There you go. Alright, guys, so I found out how long it was. So they spent... Okay, let's go ahead and just stop that. But anyways, they had 9 days left after they came out of the hyperbolic time chamber. I'll probably call it by the Room of Spirit and Time. But anyways, they had 3 days. They spent 3 days of training and 6 days resting. So during that 6 days that they were resting, I mean, it wouldn't have been that hard for Goku to get Chi-Chi pregnant, but that's about it. I mean, it wouldn't have happened before then because they were worried about the androids and Cell, and it wouldn't happen, obviously, during the time chamber experience because while Vegeta and Trunks were in the Room of Spirit and Time, Goku and Gohan were obviously seen outside waiting. Now, once, Vegeta and Trunks came out, Goku and Gohan went in. And so it'd obviously be after they came out of the Room of Spirit and Time during one of the days that they were resting. Because they had 6 days that they were resting. But that's about it. I don't think it would have happened on a day that he was training because I think he would have spent most of the time just focusing on his training. Saiyans and humans are distantly related. I don't think that would be true at all. I mean, just due to the fact that, one, they were on completely different planets and completely different solar systems. You have to remember how far away planet Vegeta is from Earth. I mean, I think they said that, okay, so if we take into consideration how far away Vegeta and Nappa were, they usually stick around a similar area. So even if, let's say, Vegeta and Nappa, before they came to Earth, were around the same area planet Vegeta was, 1 year of travel in that kind of spaceship would be huge. Now remember, it took 30 days using the equipment from that space pod and new equipment to create the gravity chamber for Goku to get from Earth to Namek. So, I mean, they kind of glance over the fact that planet Vegeta was a good distance away. It was still very far away from Earth. So, how they would be distantly related, I don't know. The only race that I do know that is distantly related to the Saiyans would be the Tuffles. But they kind of went extinct during their civil war. But anyways, I think people are just, whoever came up with this theory is more the fact that, they have similar DNA. Kind of. But, I mean, there's a lot of differences Like, for instance, the tail, the ability to transform. And by the way, these are actually pretty big differences because the tail is also a way for them to transform. They have different, their genes can make it to where they stay young until they turn about 80. And at that point is when they start looking older. Cuz Vegeta is about in his, I'd say, 40s, and he looks like he's in about his 20s. So they stay young until they turn 80. Their hair never changes, like unless they like cut it or something. It doesn't change from the day they were born, except for beards and mustaches, which those also take a long time for them to grow because I think they spent a few days in the Room of Spirit and Time, and that would be equivalent to a few years. I think it was like 2 or 3 days in the Room of Spirit and Time. And then Goku and Vegeta came out with beards. So it'll also take them a considerable amount of time for them to grow facial hair. But no, they're definitely not distantly related. And I like how the first thing it says is Chi-Chi and Goku wedding in Dragon Ball. Well, Saiyans got married, but they got married for a different reason, and that was more to, create an offspring. It was for more of a thing of reproduction. They didn't even care about the kids anyways. Dr. Gero hid Android 16's data from Cell. Maybe. This one's a maybe, but I mean they really have no reason. Just due to the fact that Cell was mostly the only thing when it came to Cell was the fact that he was a plan B in case anything went wrong with 17 and 18. He didn't really consider 16 to be an option, but the thing is, if 17 and 18 were going to be a problem, then he needed Cell, who would just absorb Android 17 and 18 to get stronger. Oh, here's Akira Toriyama's name. Mentioned in an interview that Dr. Gero lost his son, and that Android 16 was supposed to look like him. Well, I mean, with everything going on, I don't think he would have even activated Android 16. I mean, what about Android 13, 14, 15, 19? Because, I mean, if he knew that'd be a lot of androids that he'd have to hide from him. He'd be like, well, it's like, I need more power. It's like, I'm going to absorb all these people so I can be better than perfect. But, anyways, I don't think this one is one of those that you just flip a coin on. So go ahead and in the comments, go ahead and debate whether or not you think this one is possible. Okay, Super Mario universe exists within Dragon Ball Z universe. Oh my god. Okay, so let's think about it. Okay, Dragon Ball and Super Mario take place in the same world. Probably not. Let's go ahead. The flora and the fauna. Okay. From the flying fish to the mushroom forest. Oh my god. I'm reading this and it's getting even dumber and dumber. Okay, the princess in the original Dragon Ball series is trapped in a fairy castle ruled by the Ox King and Goku. Mario goes out of his way. Okay, the Ox King like, the Ox King is Chi-Chi's dad. Are we going to say that Bowser is Peach's dad? This is a lot going on us. Okay, and Goku, aka Mario, goes out of his way to rescue Chi-Chi or Princess Peach. In addition, Kamehameha are actually fireballs to Mario, and the first boss that Mario had to defeat was a giant ape, also known as Donkey Kong. Okay, so much to unravel here. Okay, the Ox King, which is Chi-Chi's dad. Okay? We all know that Bowser is definitely not Princess Peach's dad. Let's just go ahead and say that one. And well, they're definitely different because, he's a king. Well, okay, he's called the Ox King, and Bowser's other name is called King Koopa. He is a Koopa, which is just a turtle. So he is actually King of the Koopas, King of the Turtles. And the name Bowser means the enemy in Japanese. The giant ape. Okay, well, in Dragon Ball, no, his first enemy was definitely not Mighty Ozaru. The very first enemy, I believe, would actually be Emperor, main one, would actually be Emperor Pilaf. Now, if you want to go, he's not that bad of an enemy. Okay, fine, let's go ahead and make it a little bit more severe. Let's go ahead and say the very first enemy was Piccolo. Alright, there you go. The very first enemy was Piccolo. Now, maybe it's just saying Dragon Ball Z, because, it does say the DBZ universe. And the Demon King Piccolo was a Dragon Ball. Okay, let's go ahead and say, okay, that makes sense. The very first enemy in Dragon Ball Z was Raditz, and he never used his Ozaru form at all. Okay, there are many alternates. Do you just mean many timelines? Because that was already confirmed. Alright, so let's see here. We'll go through this together. Okay, it all starts with Dr. Gero, Android 17 and 18. When Future Trunks appears, he informs Goku and the team that 2 androids will destroy the world in 3 years. During this trip, he doesn't mention that Dr. Gero turned himself into an android because he didn't know. Because 17 and 18 actually killed Dr. Gero, so that wasn't a big deal. Or that Gero used 17 and 18 as a last resort, knowing full well that he, as Android 20, is able to defeat Goku. Well, you also have to look, they're different timelines. So, he pretty much just woke up Android 17 and 18 in that timeline. And during that timeline, Dr. Gero is killed by 17 and 18. And I don't think anybody really gives a shit about 19. Because during this entire thing, it does not mention Android 19 at all. But anyways, let's continue. So, where were we? Okay. If Goku and Vegeta defeated Dr. Gero on the spot, Android 17 and Android 18 would still remain in their respective capsules, and Goku would have died from his heart condition, but the Z-Fighters would have been okay. The fan theory is based on the plot hole that Dragon Ball Z forgotten to patch up. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about this, okay? So if we're looking at future Trunks' timeline, because you also have to consider a lot has changed from it, because 19 and 20 started out during the timeline where Goku gets his heart medication. Him going back in time changes a lot more, considering he introduced a heart virus. Like, since he introduced what the heart virus was and introduced the medication for it. So, with that being said, it wouldn't be too hard to explain. Like, say that, Dr. Gero never actually used Android 19, and he just woke up 17 and 18. Because of the fact, let's go ahead and say that during the entire thing, during Trunks' timeline, because remember, Android 17 and 18 were stronger in his timeline. So let's just say that, Goku and Vegeta aren't stronger. So he was like, okay, what we're going to do is we're just going to wake up Android 17 and 18. 17 would still kill Dr. Gero like usual. And instead of really, just going and killing Goku, everybody that just attacked him, they just decided to kill. I mean, the ones that you saw in Goku's timeline were completely different. Like, they didn't start any of the fights, but they didn't mind finishing them. Okay, Majin Buu's character concept is Japanese view of America. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, if you ask any foreigner, one thing that they would say is a typical stereotype of America is fat, loud, and stupid. Am I going to say that's correct? No. Are there Americans that are fat, loud, and stupid? Yes. Very much so. But I'm pretty sure there are also Europeans that are fat, loud, and stupid, Asians that are fat, loud, and stupid. Doesn't matter. I'm serious. There are people everywhere that are fat, loud, and stupid. But I'm going to go ahead and say that is not why Majin Buu is the way he is. Because Akira Toriyama originally stated that he wanted to end Dragon Ball after the Namekian saga. No, after the Frieza saga. Sorry. And, well, people wanted more. So then they're like, alright, we're going to end it after the Cell saga. People wanted more. So he was like, alright, so I'm going to go ahead and create another one. And he was like, he created it in a way that he thought it was extremely stupid. Because it had that fusion dance. Majin Buu didn't seem that threatening until he was, able to restore from pretty much anything. And, I mean, if you look at it, it sounds really stupid on paper. But it's one of those theories that, not really theories. I mean, it was a saga that everybody loved. Alright, just give me 1 second. I want to get myself a drink. Alright, thanks for that, guys. Alright, but yeah. No, I'm going to say this is definitely a not. Like I said, Akira Toriyama just made this as he was thinking, what is the dumbest thing so people won't ask for more? And he thought of Majin Buu. Okay, Saiyans can mimic moves after they see or experience them. That is true to an extent. So, Saiyans are battle-hungry warriors. So, they're more able to quickly learn especially if they can sense energy. That's one of those things that they even learn that ability quickly. Well, they learned that ability quickly when they saw others using it. So when they didn't have the scouters, they had to learn how to sense power. It was just one of those things. It's like, I mean, after time, eventually, and it doesn't take that much time for them. Because remember, it's a warrior race. They need to learn things really quick, or it could be the end of their race. So this one is true, but I mean, it's pretty much been stated, so it's not a theory. Perfect Cell can asexually reproduce because of 17 and 18. But why? Who created this theory? I mean, because let's be honest, 17 and 18 died when he absorbed them. I mean, just because we didn't see him create the Cell Juniors before he obtained his perfect form, I mean, doesn't mean that he didn't have the ability already. I mean, he is, like I said, like everyone realized, is, biomechanical. So him having that ability in general, and besides, I think he was still able to do it after he already puked up Android 18. I don't know, it's one of those things that they never really talk about. But, I mean, you can't really say this is wrong or not, just due to the fact that, well, I won't say it's very stupid. That's all I'm saying. It's stupid. Is it possible? Yes, it's very possible. Is it stupid? 100%. Whoever thought of this, how dare you? Okay, Bulma's wish triggered the Saiyan saga. Okay, well, she never made a wish on the Dragon Balls. She said that one thing that she wanted was a boyfriend. That's why she was getting the Dragon Balls. But for the wish to have been granted, it would, she would still need all the Dragon Balls and have summon Shenron and then use that wish. But remember, she started getting the Dragon Balls after Goku was already on Earth. Raditz probably still came because of everything that transpired. So let's go ahead and say, for instance, Bulma never got the Dragon Ball. Never knew what they were, so couldn't make her wish. Goku would have still came to Earth. Frieza would have still destroyed planet Vegeta. Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz would still be, I'm not counting Broly, would still be the only Saiyans. And then Raditz, Vegeta, and Nappa would want to rebel against Frieza and start building up their army. Get more Saiyans, all the Saiyans they could find. Well, Raditz would have came to Earth and, taken Goku. Well, tried to take Goku to the side. They would have still fought. The end would still stay the same. Because Bulma would have learned about the Dragon Balls later, but that's about it. She wouldn't have come up with a wish at all. And Vegeta and Nappa would have came to Earth looking for Goku and more likely the Dragon Balls. So nothing would have changed. I want to say that right now. The Saiyan Saga would have still existed. Okay, I don't even know what this is supposed to mean. The recent fan theory that emerged from Dragon Ball Super. The premise of the Saiyans. in the tournament power, but also focus on another subject, Goku's ultimate form. By now, Vegeta and Goku both realize they have trained as much as they can, and the extra training would no longer help them. So instead, they focus on their new goal, which is to unleash their full power. The ultimate limit break, Godhood. Godhood Ki would obliterate everyone. And it's likely that Goku achieved it for a moment before the Grand Priest stopped him from unleashing his powerful attack. If this were the case, it would tie things perfectly together with what Goku is trying to achieve. The whole purpose of the Tournament of Power is that Goku can train his way to become more powerful. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and break this apart. So it's saying that basically it's this form, this Godhood form, or Godhood Ki, which makes no sense because it's just called God Ki. There's regular Ki and God Ki. Regular Ki is what mortals use. God Ki is obviously what divine beings use, anyone that's able to obtain divine energy. Alright, so it's not a form itself. Goku still wanted to compete in the tournament just due to the fact that he wants to fight strong enemies. End of discussion. And did he obtain this? I wouldn't say so. I would say what they're trying to describe is Ultra Instinct. Autonomous Ultra Instinct, which is just, like Whis explained it, is the ability to move your limbs independently of each other without thinking. Because messages can only travel through the nervous system so fast. And using Ultra Instinct would make you faster due to the fact that your body is basically in this flow state. Okay, that's pretty much that. And it says that the number one is Super Saiyan is super accessible, meaning that's easy. Okay, so let's go ahead and break this one apart. Okay? So Goku is able to obtain Super Saiyan after Frieza killed Krillin. I completely forgot his name for a moment. So after Frieza killed Krillin, then Goku went Super Saiyan. Vegeta went Super Saiyan after he didn't care to have the power. He just wanted to get off the planet alive. And in that instant, he turned Super Saiyan because he needed it real bad. And one thing that you need is a lot of S cells, which you get when you're a pure-hearted Saiyan. Now, it also makes it even easier if you're doing it in a time of peace. So, Trunks and Goten obtained Super Saiyan in a time of peace. During that 7 years, Gohan obtained the form in the Room of Spirit and Time. But the thing was, it was during a conflict, but they had a lot longer to train, and they were actually trying to obtain the Super Saiyan form and have pure mastery over it. Because, they really needed it. And Gohan is a pure-hearted Saiyan. So him having the S cells would make a lot of sense. Now, if you look at Universe 6's Saiyans, well, they are a warrior race still, but they, unlike the Saiyans from Universe 7, they don't conquer planets. They don't take over planets. So, with all that being said, I mean, no. It's just easier because, like, for certain Saiyans, because of the fact that they're pure-hearted. That doesn't mean that it's, you know, oh, it exists, so let's make it super easy for all the Saiyans too. But yeah, that's that. And I'm just going to go ahead and say that some of these are actually pretty good theories that I actually had to think about. And others, like, for instance, the Super Mario Universe one. Jesus Christ, that was stupid. And Jiren as Buddha were so stupid. Like, I just want to point that out, okay? But if you guys have enjoyed, please go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and answer the question, how can Jiren be Buddha? I really want to know. And I'm not going to read that because that already looks like it's going to be stupid. I'm serious. Let's go ahead and just look at it. So Jiren is one of the fresh few faces in Dragon Ball Super. He managed to impress us with his power, as he's powerful enough to stop. Yeah, so that's. So it says, how can it be? Well, fans speculate that Jiren's actually Buddha. I don't get it. So because he's just because he's super strong, that means he's Buddha? Oh, no, I get it. The connection is he's strong, he meditates, and he's bald. He's Buddha. And I thought the Supreme Kai one was stupid. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and comment down below your thoughts on all these theories. And if you have the answer to the question, how Jiren can be Buddha, go ahead and answer that one in the comments section below. And if you're all new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to try posting more frequently. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.